Frances always said she'd be murdered. She was right. In 1965, Frances Adams was told by a fortune teller that one day she would be murdered. Frances spent the next 60 years trying to prevent the crime that would be her eventual demise. Of course, no one took her seriously, until she was dead. When her great niece Annie arrives from London and discovers that Frances' worst fears come true, Annie is thrust into her great aunt's last act of revenge against her skeptical friends and family.
Pause this video right now. Go and read How to Solve Your Own Murder by
Kristen Perrin. And when you've read it, you can join us for the discussion.
Or you can join us because we're going to tell you all about it. My name's Elijah.
And I'm Joseph, and welcome to the Aisha Library.
So what did you think?
So, boy, I don't actually think the audiobook did this book justice now, but I can't say that for sure. I can't say that for sure. That's just a skip. That's because
you didn't read it.
Exactly. But
so you're saying things,
huh?
So you're just saying things.
No, I'm saying because of my experience listening to the audiobook.
But I don't think the audiobook did. I don't think anything could have done this book. I don't think anything could have made this book a good book. I really didn't like it.
I would be interested in reading a little bit of the PDF just to see how I get on. But I'm a very special person, so
I would rather die. But no, I didn't like the book. I don't think it was good. I'm going to get straight into this. I was not impressed with this book at all. I'll give you an example of how I felt about this book. When I got to the part where the murder was revealed, I shut the book immediately. Well, I should say I pressed pause and then delete. Once I found out who the murderer was, I had no need to read any further. The book was a chore, a terrible lack of creativity. I know you get certain a certain formula with murder mysteries, but that doesn't mean it has to be a carbon copy of all other murder mysteries that have been written from the beginning of time. Don't get me wrong, this book did try to be creative. Yes, of course it did. But its attempts were as pathetic as when your partner says, "I'll change," after they've cheated on you for the 5th time. It was like, do you expect me to buy that?
I will change though.
But yeah, no, I thought the book was a drag. I don't think there was anything creative. I think it was boring. There wasn't much action.
No stealth mission.
There was no stealth mission, and a lot of things were forced. Did
you read? I forgot what order I read the books in because I went back over my notes both times. So did you read this book first?
Yeah, I read it first.
You read it first?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I read this one. I must have read this one second.
You couldn't have.
What did you know?
Because we swap accounts.
So you read this one first?
Yeah. Well,
right, so I must have read it second then. If you read it first, I must have read it second. We could have read it at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're bugging. But what I think is interesting is I read this immediately after I read the last one with its colourful, lively dialogue and lively. And do you know what I mean? And I was just looking at it like sideways. You see a 10:10 and you look at your girl and sigh.
So what you're saying is my experience of this book made the other book that we read even better than it was.
Yeah.
And this one, and the way you read the book made this one worse. Yeah, no, it's probably true.
Yeah, listen, you see a 10:10, you look at your girl and sigh.
For fuck's sake. It's too late.
We deserve cancellation. But,
well, you do.
No, it's when you see the friend group, and you're like, you got the clapped one. That's pain beyond pain, you know?
Yeah,
it's beyond pain. You're literally like, can you move for me, bro? Like, move for me. I really wasn't sure what kind of book this was going to be from the title. I feared that it would be some kind of supernatural shite where a ghost has to find out who killed him. I've had more than my fill of the supernatural when we read The Last Murder at End of the World by Stuart Turton. I don't know if you remember that, when it was like AI all along. Some stupidness. And I must say, I like a much more grounded approach to these proceedings. Ha ha ha, raise his pinky. Murder mysteries aren't exactly my thing either, so this author's gonna have to do overtime to keep my attention. In the beginning book, I was waffling because I was just like, don't know what's happening, innit? Just don't really know what's happening. And I'm just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. After slagging the book off completely, I want to start by saying the creative writing style was very good. Here's an example. The book reads, "Let it go. She bites off each word in a sentence as if it's a crisp piece of apple." For backstory, Frances, our dead main character in a flashback story, went to a fortune teller who tells her that she is going to be murdered, and she takes it 100% seriously to the point where one of her friends tell her to let it go. But yeah, there was a few examples of creating writing that I thought, whoa, I wish I could speak like that. Here's another one. The book reads, since he turned on me, my affection for Ford felt like broken glass in my chest. Fucking poetry.
Yeah,
Cocky little bitch. You're just showing off now.
Legit.
It's almost like the author spitting in my face. Haha, you mere mortals speaking in plain English. Speaking in plain English like children. You disgust me.
Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, no, she was
using
showing
less
off.
than 4 syllables.
Yeah.
Discreet peasant.
But yeah, my affection for Ford felt like broken glass in my chest. You know, that's so description.
You can feel it.
Yeah, breathing hurts.
Oh
you know?
my God, you can feel it.
That was
insane. You
very
can feel
good.
it. Yeah,
very
you can
good.
feel it.
After slagging the book off.
Of course, but you know, we got to give credit where credit is due.
Definitely.
Bloody hell, we've got another bloody time skip. Can't effing get away from it at this point. It's like, ever since I said I don't like time skips, and I don't even dislike them that much, but the fact that we just keep seeing them has actually increased my dislike for them. It was only a mild dislike when I first said it, but now it's like, I'm really pissed off now, because like, you've done it so many times. So the principal characters of the book are Frances, a woman from the 1960s who was told a fortune that she would one day be murdered, and Annie, her grandniece, who is a writer and wants to solve her murder. As much as I want to be harsh on this book, it does indeed sound like an incredibly interesting premise. Or it would have been, like you said, if there was any action, if Annie was doing anything, like if she was, you remember that book we read, I forgot what it was called, with the bodyguard? The bodyguard that was looking after the writer on the island.
Murders.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, by
Richard Osman.
well done. I knew he was gonna get it.
Yeah,
though,
that
but,
was easy.
yeah, I knew he was gonna get it. Do you know what really surprised me is when you knew Kresley Cole? You flipped it on me. I was like, oh wow, like you've been doing your own work, have you? But
that book wasn't any good either.
What, the one with Lachlan and?
No, with the We Solve Murders. Bro.
Oh yeah, that was crap.
Yeah, but you was gonna say something about
I forgot I was gonna say that. I put keywords here to remind me. I'm gonna remember in a second.
Fair enough. All right. This story is missing the why. We get that Annie wants to know who killed her great aunt Frances, but why is she going out of her way, uprooting her life to do a job that we as taxpayers pay somebody else to do? You know, the police.
Yeah.
What makes it even worse is that she doesn't even know this Aunt Frances, never met her, never spoken to her, which doesn't make any sense to me. And then we get the why. The author gives us the why, and it's even worse. The author shouldn't have bothered.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We get the why eventually. The person who solves her murder gets the estate and the money. It's a bit forced though, coupled with the fact that if you've got 40 million in the bank, you can afford 24/7 bodyguards and a security team and even spies to foil potential plots. And even in the event of your murder, you could pay for the top of the range private investigators who will be a damn sight better than Annie. Who's got no experiences. Congratulations, Miss Kristen Perrin. You have officially ruined this book. Made no sense. Made no sense at all whatsoever. What
Shot yourself in both feet. Yeah, no, legit. Shot yourself in both feet, one after the other.
Like, and then one for the head. Like, what was that about? It just made the whole story silly. Now your family's running around trying to find a murderer just to get an inheritance. What is this? Was this a game?
I'm dead. You know. Wait. So this book includes a fortune telling. Doesn't that technically make this supernatural? I wonder if they're going to I wonder if they're going to try to slip something supernatural in at the end, like in Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough, where the whole book, it was like psychology or whatever, and at the last minute, they was like, yeah, and it's magic.
Yeah.
I was like, if this happens at the end of the book where they just slip, oh, she was a real fortune teller or whatever, or she had real magic, I'm going to be so pissed off, because like I said, I want facts, proper, you know.
Yeah, a real story.
Even though
I want a real fake story.
Yeah, I want a real fake story. Even though all I write is flipping supernatural magic, all of that. So I'm actually the biggest hypocrite on the face of planet Earth. But at least I own it, though, you know?
The book reads, show me you can... The book reads, show me you believe that I can look after myself. That is such a controlling and manipulative statement. She follows up with, you're not my dad. This is what she's saying to her boyfriend, who doesn't want her to walk through the woods late at night to walk a boy back to a creepy man's house. The man in question, who upon meeting her said, I like you. And that's definitely up there with one of the most stereotypical predatorial statements. Show me you believe I can look after myself. How about no? Joseph, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you if this would be a toxic response. She says, show me you believe I can look after her, and you grab her up and manhandle her just to show her how easy it is. I'm not saying to take her clothes off forcibly, just because you can. Maybe that's a tad too far. But you know they do say actions speak louder than words. Surely you're doing a good thing by letting somebody know how vulnerable they are. In other words, if you went to your neighbour and said, by the way, you left your car unlocked, they'd say, thank you very much.
That's exactly what I was thinking when you said that as well.
So are you doing you doing a good thing?
Well, there's some situations, and I think this is one of those situations where your intentions matter probably a bit more than your actions, right? So I think the intentions take precedence over the actions here. Like, you're doing this for the purpose of showing somebody that your safety is your responsibility, you know? And like, I don't think, women especially, but people in general, don't necessarily take their own...
Your safety is my responsibility.
Well, your body, my choice.
So you're doing a good thing then by manhandling her, slapping up a bit.
Well... Was it? I might as well have some fun while I'm at it. What do I get out of this? I ain't helping people all fucking day.
So are you doing a good thing or are you not doing a good thing?
Yeah, of course you're doing a good thing. I might do some now. I might do some tonight. Might do some good deeds tonight.
It's funny because I know a lot of people out there would definitely not agree.
Yeah, no, of course not. But I think people can't see behind. People can't necessarily see behind the programming that the machines have given them, right? So what people think is wrong is just wrong, and like no amount of discourse is going to change, is going to move them on this. So it just is what it is. But when you point out the analogy, and it's a like for like analogy, how can you disagree? Like they just start rejecting it. They just reject it. They just reject it. Like me, I'm the kind of person who will listen and be like, that actually makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
When I have these kinds of things, I always say Elijah's the only person I can actually say this to, because he's the only one that would actually change his mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, most people's minds are already made up. They're not going to be unmade.
Yeah. But yeah, because if something happened to your girl, you know her parents would be like, why did you let her walk through the woods late at night? But that reminds me of a time when my boss said to me I had to walk my colleague home and it was in some dangerous ends. And they literally pressured me into it. I was like, I'm not walking, it's Pekka, I'm not walking her.
That's crazy.
And he said, you know, be a gentleman, you're going to walk her home. So I said, you know what? I said,
be a gentleman.
I decided to take the glory, and I said, all right, no problem. And we walked to the bus stop.
Oh, you saw a bag of man there.
No, I walked to the bus stop and I said, this is where we part ways. You know, my bus stop's here. She said, the boss said you had to walk her home.
Bro,
I said, listen, see you later.
She's chatting mad about the boss said.
I'm coming inside.
Yeah, bro,
you know what I'm
you
already know. You know what I'm talking about.
But you know what's funny? You joke, but it's like, chivalry is benevolent sexism, right? It's a byproduct of sexism. It's because women are weak and they're property and we own them and we look after them. That's essentially what it is, right? So if you want a man to be chivalrous, you're actually sexist. It's very unfeminist. It's anti-American and you shouldn't do it, right? So
but yeah, what about my safety? He's gonna walk me home.
Do you know what I mean? Like, statistically, who's more likely to get stabbed, me or the woman?
Yeah, no, we're definitely we're definitely more likely to get in more problems later at night than a woman.
100%. Like, I'm not.
She's gonna live to tell the tale. We might not. I know which one's worse.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, nice.
What you're trying to say? What I said is bad. Nah. What you've been saying is bad. I didn't even say anything that bad.
I don't believe in chivalry though. So it's what it is. I believe women are equals in all things. And if a woman hits you, you should bang that bitch. No, I'm joking. But in all seriousness, this podcast hasn't seen the light of day, is it?
Yeah. Let me go again because
I've only got one left.
Yeah, I've got 3. Finally, an author that knows what they are doing. This is weird. I'm praising the author after I've been...
You can't make up your mind.
Textbook character building. We meet the village doctor. Her name is Dr. Owusu. She tells Annie that although most people didn't like Frances' paranoid tendencies, she recalled the story about how interacting with Frances saved her baby niece's life. And it was a touching story that cemented the doctor's character in her head. We know her now, and most importantly, we like her. Character building anecdotes is what makes a good story a great one. Look at Game of Thrones, for example. It was filled with anecdotes, and I could listen to those all day. You know,
All
character
day.
being still.
Could recite them all day as well.
But yeah, there's more anecdotes in Game of Thrones than there are immigrants coming through the borders. So clearly, lots. But yeah, so I don't know if you remember that bit, but Dr. Owusu, you know, I can't remember what happened, but it was something along the lines of Frances thought she was being poisoned by batteries or something along those lines, and you know, she told the story of how she saved her life. But that was it was good. I felt like I was immersed in the book for that moment until it felt like a cold bucket of water was dashed on me once I realised, you know, they're doing this for the inheritance money. It's just like, it's not creative at all whatsoever.
I mean, in some way, it's kind of authentic though, because it's always about the money.
I guess so, but
Do you feel that's giving that author an easy out?
That's exactly what I normally do. To be on the other side of that.
Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it?
You're trying to
no, but you invent some bullshit though. You invent some
that
bullshit.
was bullshit.
No, it wasn't.
That was. I bring up actual philosophical.
You invent philosophical stuff like with the winning people.
Yeah, no,
you know where I was going with this.
The author was asking philosophical questions.
The author was waffling for like 9 hours straight.
It was philosophical questions.
That one woman that said she was going to kill herself didn't even kill herself. I was like, you're taking the actual piss.
Joseph, you need to let it go.
Never.
And
never let it go. Hold on to it.
I said, fucking hell, this book is boring. We've obviously got a plot, but nothing of interest is happening. So they've mysteriously found Emily's body, but even then I'm still bored. I find the flashback story much more interesting for some reason, which wasn't exactly action-filled either. Maybe it was the infidelity that was interesting to me.
What? He was like, infidelity, finally, my favourite.
I'm also confused as to why this flashback story is progressing past the conception of this baby. Frances' best friend falls pregnant for her boyfriend, and she's going out of her way to help the best friend hide the pregnancy from her parents. As far as I'm concerned, that's your business. I'm probably going to tell your parents. You know,
snitch on you.
Yeah, I don't understand what that was. I don't understand what. I don't understand what that was all about. Why Emily's friend, or Emily, no, Frances was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say next. This book has a common problem. There were too many characters.
Yeah.
There was Joe, Saxon, Archie, Mum, Emily, Rose, the detectives died, Annabelle, Francis, Peter, Tansy, Jonathan, Walt, and more.
Got a whole phone book in there, man.
I'm struggling to find the relevance of the two stories that are running side by side. Why is this fortune teller story necessary? Why is there a murder mystery necessary? This could have just been a story about the betrayal. You know, the cheating thing. Also, why are they all bundling in the car to fly down to Chelsea to stop Emily? How are they going to stop her? If she wants to take her baby back, then she's going to take her baby back. There's nothing able to do.
Yeah, no, legit.
And the cheek of Jonathan to try and turn himself into one of the good guys because she tricked me. He relayed the story about how Emily said it has to be tonight and don't use a condom. And he's going to try and claim he didn't know that she was...
That's the only time man will listen to a woman, you know. Don't use a condom.
You was thinking with your cock, mate.
Yeah, he's thinking with his little brain. Yeah.
I was tricked.
We've all done it.
She manipulated me.
We've all done it.
Brother, listen, stop it.
We've all done it. We've all been there. Listen, only time man will listen to a woman. Don't use a condom.
Don't use a condom.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, he tried it.
That's famous last words.
He tricked himself. Oh, then, yeah, nah. He tricked himself at this point.
I never do.
Yeah, of course not. I was hoping he was going to say that.
You get done for stealthing, you know.
Huh?
Do you know what stealthing is?
Oh, well, I can guess what it is. I've never heard the term, but I can guess what it is. No, that's crazy.
You know,
that's crazy.
Prison.
That's crazy.
Prison.
That's actually crazy, though.
Because it's classed as rape. It's not rape, though, is it?
Prison is crazy, though. Prison is crazy, though.
I was reading a news.
Nah, but that's you schemed to do that. Like, that's actually sneaky. That's underhand.
No, of course it is. Prison.
That's underwater. She's asking you, what are you in prison for? And you're like stealthing. We were like, the fuck is that?
I
took the condom off.
I read a news, and the man got done because basically the day after he was apologising on text. That's the only reason. I mean, how else are you going to get done? Know? You're never going to get done for that. Ever.
Bro, it comes out, it goes back in. She's like,
Yeah, no, but he was like, "Oh, sorry, I did it. I just wanted to feel you on this, that, and the other."
Oh, I'm dead.
And then that's the admit. Was it? That's the
confession.
That's the confession.
She
right
said that
there.
to the police immediately.
Yeah,
You know the screenshot.
because you could never get done for that. You could
Bro,
never get done.
Batman couldn't get that information out of me, you know.
You could never get done for that. You just have to say no. I didn't.
Yeah.
No, you just say no comment.
That's it.
There you
Don't have to answer.
But yeah, go on. Say your last one.
Mate, this book is tough to get through. I feel like if I'd been reading the PDF, I may have enjoyed it 10,000-fold. The narrator's voice is so monotonous, I genuinely keep tuning out. I don't know if you had this problem, but I felt like the narrator's voice, I don't know if it was the
I
author.
have a big problem with that.
The narrator's voice was just monotonous the entire way through. And she was speaking fast as well, so I had to slow it down to even...
I listen times 2.5, so...
No, but I'm saying I like to go times 2+, but I couldn't. I had to be like 1.7 because you're speaking too fast.
Rookie numbers.
Just pump those numbers up.
Yeah, I just think the main problem of the story was that it was boring, it was too many characters, the plot wasn't making any sense, none of the characters were interesting, and, and I didn't even... When the murderer came about, I was just like, who's that again? Too many characters. Too many characters.
I said none of the characters were interesting, and there was too many of them
The
that weren't interesting.
storyline was ridiculous, you know, and then we had the fortune teller, the random fortune teller. The book was all over the place. Don't read it, and if you've read it, then, you know, I hope you like
Commiserations.
slating. Yeah,
Commiserations.
I want
My
my money back.
condolences. Yeah, legit.
I want money back.
I want a rematch.
But yeah, listen, it's been good. We're going to end with quote of the day. Yeah.
Are you telling me you didn't have a quote for this one either?
Oh, so you do? Good. Yeah, no,
say
because
that.
the way you're talking. But yeah, all right,
didn't
that's
say
fine. We'll be better prepared next time and on time. Till next time.